This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Rikky, Morrisette, Lorenzo, Eddie Costello, LightBlindedFool, and the Amyrlin seat. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Steph Bohm and Timothy Gruber to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We also want to acknowledge our annual patrons who renewed their subscriptions for a whole nother year. So thank you so much to Michael Langer, Zaira and Rosario Pabin, and Andrea Ramirez. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it and couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 5 and 6 of A Crown of Swords.
Yeah, so chapter 5 is A Broken Crown.
Yeah.
And chapter 6 is Old Fear and New Fear.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we got some things sort of happening.
Kind of
happening.
Yep.
We had to finish this plot line. We had to come back to Kyrian. We had to sort it all out.
We really did. And it's hardly sorted.
Well, it's like mostly sorted, it seems.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a...
I'm honestly not surprised. This is kind of what I said I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Rand walks in and lays down the law and...
You know what? Not everything has to be a big, twist and, ooh, what happened? It's like, this was kind of straightforward. Mm-hmm. Colivir stuck her nose in where it doesn't belong.
To be fair, I actually do have some defending words.
Okay.
For Colivir.
Okay,
when we get to the end. Because you're going to ask me later if I think what happens is just...
Oh, okay.
Right? You're going to ask me that?
Yes, I was.
Because people have differing views.
Sure.
To what Rand wanted.
Sure, okay.
Right?
That's true.
So, we'll get to it.
No, you're right. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay, I like it.
We'll get to it.
So, yeah. Well, with this fun fact, I had to make it all about Colivir. Because, this is kind of her time to shine.
This is it.
It doesn't look like it's going to go very well, especially with Min's viewing. It's not great.
Oh, that's true.
You know?
There's the viewing.
She is at some point destined to die. But, everybody dies at some point, so it might not even be
typically not everyone dies by hanging, though.
That's true.
When they escape the sentence.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. But
we'll see.
It's got to be about her. So, officially, Colivir was Queen of Kyrian for 9 days. Because the last time we got Dobrain saying it's the 9th sunset after her coronation, so we have a little bit of real-world inspiration for this one. Because the shortest length of time on the throne for any British monarch was Lady Jane Grey, which later she was known as Lady Jane Dudley, and she also had the throne for 9 days, and was known as the 9 Days Queen.
Okay.
So, she was an English noblewoman who claimed the throne of England and Ireland from July 10th to July 19th in 1553. And a long story short, she was appointed as the successor to the crown, partially to make sure her half-sister Mary didn't become queen. Because
is that Mary, Queen of Scots? Or is that someone else completely?
I think it's somebody else. Okay. But it's Bloody Mary is what she was known as later
Mary.
on. So, yeah. Oh. So it was the bypass Mary.
I'm sorry, you just said Bloody Mary and the lights are flickering?
That's true, they are.
Wait,
how many times have I said it? 3 times?
Oh my god.
Okay, anyways.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Chill out.
whoa.
Actually, that was weird.
Yeah, they are flickering, and I saw that too. So anyways.
That wasn't just I'm
not going to say it again.
No.
So anyways, Jane was Protestant.
Oh my god,
Mary was Catholic. And Jane would support the Reformed Church of England. So it was supposed to be Jane becoming queen, Mary not. But after the king's death, Jane was proclaimed queen, as she was supposed to. But support for Mary grew very fast, and 9 days later, Jane was deposed from being queen. So then her main supporter, which was Jane's father-in-law, he was accused of treason, and he was executed. And then Jane, Lady Jane, was held prisoner and convicted of high treason, which had a sentence of death.
Whoa.
Yeah, kind of like Colivir, sentence of death, okay?
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. And now, initially, Mary spared her life. But then a couple months later, she became viewed as a threat to the crown, so she was executed.
Okay.
So, yeah. And executed
I wonder what's going to happen here.
It was by beheading, though.
Well,
So
that's
just
what
like
Colivir wants.
exactly, yeah. It's like that's my right, is to be executed by beheading. So,
Yes.
but yeah, so there you go. A little bit of comparison. 9 days beheadings. It's all there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Not gonna say it again though.
And spared, and then
Yeah.
later killed, which probably...
Yeah, it was like a couple months. It was like very, very soon
Okay,
afterwards.
and I mean, I have to say probably will happen here.
Okay, possibly. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
With the viewings and
Yeah.
such.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of scared.
A little bit spooked out here, yeah.
I didn't like that. I was like, the first time I thought, did I just blink too long?
Yeah,
You know
no,
what
I saw it
happened?
too, and I looked up. The light
Yeah.
definitely flickered when I said it a couple
Twice.
of times.
Yeah,
Cool.
I know. That's kind of scary.
Phew, dodged a bullet there.
Oh my gosh. Well, I said it once. So, like, combined.
Does it count that way? I don't know if it counts. I think it's got to be
know.
like one person.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. We'll have to sage or something.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, last time we were here, not much happened.
Yeah, we got into Kyrian.
We got to Kyrian. It
And then
took
we got
us
a little
four full chapters.
Sure.
To get into Kyrian. I think we're more than 100 pages in.
Yeah, that's true.
We're finally in Kyrian after Dumais Wells.
Yeah. We're like 150.
Yeah. Okay. So
160?
chapter 5, A Broken Crown.
Yeah.
But it is not all the way broken.
Not anymore.
Okay. It
Yeah. He breaks it and remakes it.
remakes it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what his speech is about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know that. But it's like some of the gems are still out of it.
Yeah, no, for
It's
sure.
not,
Like,
like,
it's not
great.
completely perfectly back together again.
And I bet if he wanted to, he could have.
Probably, but he's not focused.
He's been hasty. So,
Yeah.
chapter symbol's the dragon, and we enter again in a parent perspective. Now, with the chapter symbol being the dragon,
Yeah.
I thought maybe we could get it from Rand's perspective.
Yeah, I know that you thought that, and I know
Yeah.
that you were hoping for that,
It was.
and it never happened.
Didn't happen.
No, it's all parent, and
It's all parent, but
yeah,
I still think that we get the gist of what's happening.
we do, but it's like, once again, for the next 2 chapters, the moral of the story is Perrin is always confused.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, he observes, he takes in a lot of information.
But he thinks he's not really confused.
Sometimes,
He
but
thinks he really knows best.
yeah,
too.
he does. He's overconfident in the thinking he knows what's best, but he's also thinks to himself a lot, like, I don't understand that.
Yes.
But then, like, goes with it anyways. Mm-hmm. So, okay.
Yep. Okay, so here we go. Rand and his crew are heading through the corridors towards the Grand Hall because we just had met up with those fake Aiel wannabes
Yep.
and got informed that this is where Colivir is having a big party.
Party going down, everybody's there to watch.
Everybody's there.
Yep.
So we get a description of the palace. Everyone's super on edge. There's still servants everywhere. And the ones who recognize Rand are sort of just bowing but continuing on with their jobs.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting note about the servants thing. So everybody is kind of continuing on as normal, because even if you take over or take back a city, like, the servants probably are
Servants
safe.
aren't really too concerned about who's ruling, I'd say.
Yeah, because
they got to do their
yeah.
jobs, they want to stay alive, and they want to make money.
And generally speaking, even if you were like a ruler coming in and forcefully taking over, you're not going to like slaughter all the servants, because then you don't have any servants to do all the
Right.
things for the palace.
Right.
So
And
it's
they
like,
know how to do things for the palace.
yeah. I always kind of think like back to, I think it was Nori, the guy who was like running Camelin. Like
Sure.
the old guy with the numbers. Like, he
Yes.
doesn't really care.
No,
He's
he
just
didn't
running the
care.
palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So now we make it to the Grand Hall. There's 2 guards out there, and they frown at the approaching Aiel, but then they see Rand, and their eyes like pop out of their heads.
Yeah.
They give each other a look, and then just sort of sink to their knees. And they're like, yep, okay.
Yeah. And it's kind of sad, like, Rand's reaction, because it's like, oh, so this is who I am now?
Well, yes.
I mean, it's like, you know, he's come a long way from the Two Rivers boy that we knew so long ago.
That's true. And
Yeah.
I mean, this scenario is very specific.
Yeah.
So no, this isn't who you are now. I mean, like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
But this scenario is you've come back when nobody thought you were going to come back.
Yeah.
And there's somebody who took your spot.
Yeah, and like, but the
everyone
dude's like,
sort of went along with it.
it's kind of sad, because it's like, dude's praying he's not going to be murdered by Rand right now, and Rand has to look at that and being like, that's a possibility. That's what people think of me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically because they're Colivir's guards, and Colivir just took over
Yeah.
his,
It's a bad situation.
rule.
But
So,
again, Rand's a good guy. He's a good guy, right?
to a fault.
Too good of a guy. But, you
Yeah.
know, sometimes
Yeah.
you should probably chop people's heads off. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to come across terribly in this chapter.
Well, you don't rule a nation, so it's okay.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet, Brett.
If you ever run for office,
yeah,
I'll say don't vote for her.
I'd be a terrible politician. I want to be a ruler in.
So, guys,
this...
have we considered chopping people's heads off? I don't know.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it. No, I want to be a ruler in this world.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So the crew enters the Grand Hall, and, it's big, full of people, nobles, and others.
Yeah.
I'm going to say others because Perrin thinks they must be hunters for the horn.
Yep.
But there's no
actually...
confirmation on
no,
that
not at
all.
Yeah. It's just other people.
There's just other people here. There are people, who are close to the door, notice Rand and crew.
Yeah.
And they're just, looking at him, being like, oh, what's happening here? And then they get closer and closer to the front, and people start realizing what's happening. The nobles are recognizing Rand.
Yeah. It's also the most important people are probably closer to the front, and the least important more to the back.
That's
and
what
the
we
more
saw
important would recognize
a while
Rand.
ago too. That's sort of what happens is they line up from most important to least important.
Exactly. So the lesser important people might not actually recognize Rand because they might not have seen him before.
Right.
But yeah.
All right. So now Perrin is watching the far end of the hall where the Sun Throne is.
But he's not watching the Sun Throne.
No. So he sees 7 young women around the throne, and he spots the 8th, and it's Fail.
Oh my goodness.
And Perrin makes eye contact with her, and he doesn't see her expression change at all. And he thinks that, if anything, her face grows tighter, and he can't catch her scent because there's such strong perfume, and everyone smells like fear everywhere.
Yeah. I love it because the entire chapter, his brain is just going off on oh, she must have a reason for being there. And it's yeah, man, probably to stay alive.
How about, wow, she is here. I'm happy she's alive.
I'm happy she's not dead. Not oh, she must have a good explanation to be there.
Yeah.
It's
of course.
Survival.
And
I don't
right
know.
now, obviously she's not smiling at you. She's playing a part.
Yeah.
Perrin.
Well, and it gets worse because then when they get to the throne, he's why didn't she come running over to me?
And also the first thing he says is, where's Barrelade?
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
that's not great.
It's one of those things.
We'll get there.
It's kind of like Matt though, right? Because what Matt thinks and what Matt does are very different things.
Yeah.
But in Perrin's brain,
Perrin's
what he's
very
thinking,
impulsive when he does, when he says things.
Yeah.
Things he shouts out.
Well, he thinks things through, and then it happens. So it's what he actually does that other people can see happening is it's kind of a funny take on it.
Yeah, I would say that he thinks and thinks and thinks, and then he never comes to any sort of decision or conclusion. And then when he does finally say things, it's very impulsive and erratic.
Yeah, it can definitely be that way sometimes.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So now Rand tells Sulin, wait back here.
Yep.
She nods, but then signals to the maidens, and all of them veil themselves.
Oh, and that's stuff's gonna happen.
We're gonna murder everyone up in here.
Well, that's what the nobles think because they don't recognize the Ashaman for what they are, obviously, because that's a new thing.
They don't know.
But they know Aiel, and they know veils.
Yes. So Rand steps up, and then Perrin, Dobrain, and Havian join him.
Yep.
And then Perrin thinks no one's going to harm Fail in here, no matter what happens, or no matter what she's done, no matter
who,
why,
or why,
or who,
or what,
and I'm gonna stop it.
And I'm gonna do, no matter who tries to do anything to her, I'm gonna be don't do that.
Yeah, but right before he thinks that, he thinks
so
to
funny.
himself that the Aiel, the maidens, are super pointless because anything that the maidens can do, the Ashermen can do 8 times faster.
Yes, yeah.
So he's but nobody knows
They're the
that.
real threat.
Yeah.
And that's a good point because that comes full circle later on in the chapter, or chapters, when Perrin stands up to Rand and he's I'm gonna stop you. And Rand's really, buddy?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're not a channeler.
We'll get there. You're jumping ahead to the only interesting thing. Yeah. So hold on.
Perrin just, he really grinds my gears. I'm telling you.
Which is interesting because you like him so much as a character.
I've never said that. I don't think I've ever said that.
Oh, really?
Well, I like Perrin. I like him because I am Perrin. But sometimes, man, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Gawain being I'm going to kill you, Rand.
Yeah.
It's really, Gawain?
Yeah.
You're gonna stab him with your sword?
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Maybe. Maybe if he's sleeping.
Yeah.
By himself.
And
maybe. No one knows where he is. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
All right. So now, as Rand and the crew approaches, they're getting closer and closer, and Colivir is clearly looking around desperately, and Rand is like, looking for the Aes Sedai.
Yeah, because that's the thing.
I sent them to the Aiel camp to learn some manners.
Yep.
And Colivir's like, oh no, oh, Lord Dragon, nice to see you, welcome back, welcome back.
Yeah.
We were expecting you. Want some wine?
Exactly.
So excited you're here.
Well, it's kind of funny because we do get it from Fael too, but like there is a potential that he is like on Aes Sedai strings right now.
Yes.
Like there's a chance.
Yeah.
Not a big chance, but there is a chance.
Right. Especially considering how he left.
Yeah.
And how Colivir knows how he left.
And
right?
they promised her, so there's a possibility.
That's part of my defense for Colivir.
Yeah, oh no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But it's like you picked a side and you came up with the wrong side, so it's like now you gotta pay your dues here.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
So Rand slowly climbs the steps so dramatically. Perrin starts to follow, but then stops because he's got this one-track mind for Fael.
Yep. And she stares him down.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why he stops.
Right.
Because she isn't like smiling or blowing kisses to him. She's doing nothing.
She's not waving.
Not waving, being like, it's me, Perrin.
Oh my god, I'm so happy
I love
to
you
see
so
I
much.
love you. You're not dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he thinks, why does she not speak? Why do you not come to me or even smile at me?
Oh, man. And it's like, okay.
How much are we going to rag on Perrin?
Okay, we're ragging on him a lot. I know some people are going to be, coming to his defense, so I'm going to play a little defense for Perrin. I kind of get it, because as a couple,
yes,
like, you could exchange a look and be like, right? I get it, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it's like, if you've been with someone long enough, you know someone well enough, there's a look that you can exchange and, like, communicate like we're all good here.
That's right. Yeah.
But she doesn't seem to do that.
Well, maybe she does.
Maybe she does and Perrin doesn't pick up on it.
doesn't pick up on it. That's more likely.
Yeah.
Like, the stare down is probably her...
Well, that's like a
right?
don't come up here and be an idiot, you idiot.
Exactly.
But also, we get her thoughts later where she was like, I wasn't sure if you were actually, like, on Aes Sedai strings or not.
Right.
So there is that fear, the new fear and the old fear. So, right, that's part of that.
Sure. Okay. So Rand is face-to-face with Colivir now, and, face to chest, because she's quite short. She's Kyrianan.
Yeah, and he's like 6'5", so, there's that.
And so he takes the time to, like, look down the line of lady attendants, and Perrin can't be sure if Rand pauses on Fael or not.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
so
number one, Perrin, I'm sure your buddy cares a little bit about your wife.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe.
But not in this context.
Yeah.
Not in this context.
Do, like, finger guns to her, right?
Yeah.
I know you.
Okay, but Rand says to Colivir, I mean this for Elaine Trakand, right?
Yeah.
And Colivir's like, okay, well, no, though, because...
How about this?
How about Cairhien has been too long without a ruler, a Cairhienan ruler,
right?
And you said yourself you have no interest in the Sun Throne, and, we can't even really be sure that she's even alive.
Because most people are saying that her mom's dead, and she's dead.
She's dead.
Which is a very dangerous thing to say, because most of the rumors say that Rand is the one who murdered Morgase and Elaine.
Right.
So it's like, you're saying it to the guy who is suspected of the murder. Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, and not on any basis, but, like, that's the rumor, so.
And then Rand's just super calm, super collected, and almost scarier because of how calm he's staying.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So Rand says Elaine is alive, and she will have the crowns of Andor and Cairhien.
Yeah.
And then Colivir says, well, here's the thing, bud.
Yeah.
I'm queen.
Can't do it.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's been 9 days already.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm the queen. What's done can't be undone. And then Rand reaches into her stupid beehive hairdo from the 60s.
Is that what that is?
Yep.
I couldn't totally be sure about, like, what the description of hair is.
It's either a beehive hairdo or it's Bride of Frankenstein hairdo.
Okay.
It's one or the other.
So it's like, it's an up thing.
It's an up thing. Because it adds, like, a foot.
Yeah.
To her head.
I really struggle with the description of like, I don't get it. I have a hard time visualizing hair.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
That's like one of the things I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting it.
So, do you know a beehive hairdo?
Yeah, because it's like, okay.
It's up.
Yeah.
Really high.
And the crown is like in there.
It's
in it.
It's in the hair.
In the hair.
Yeah. And he reaches into her hair and
he's got like a whole... He doesn't pull the crown out yet.
I thought he did.
Not yet. He does it soon, but like not quite. He doesn't like pull it out and then break it. He like breaks it while it's in her hair.
Okay. I don't think it matters.
Rand reaches in and takes hold of the sun crown on her head.
Yeah,
and then there's a loud crack, and then he pulls it away.
Okay, so as he's pulling it away, he breaks it.
Okay, more or less.
It's all
okay,
at once.
okay.
I don't think that he's like truffling around in her
He's
hair.
got 2 fists in her beehive.
He's ruffling her hair.
And he's like, how does it come out of here? It's really wedged in here.
So many bobby pins.
I know. Oh, man, okay.
No, it's not that. So he gets the crown, breaks it. There's like a snapping and flexing, and the jewels are popping out of there.
Yeah.
And then, as if by magic,
yep,
it straightens and reforms to a crown.
Well, it straightens out, and then it's like curls back into, and that's what Perrin is. He's like, oh man, he must be doing something with the power. It's like, yeah. Yes, that's what's happening here, Perrin.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And then he says, whatever can be done can be undone.
Yeah, and that's an important lesson. That's a good lesson to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she's like, not by laws, though.
Yeah.
Not by laws. I kept the laws that you made. I maintained your policies, even the ones I don't like. I want to be queen. Let me.
Why can't I be queen? I want to be queen.
Just let me, okay?
Yeah, it's like, come on.
Just let me be a queen.
Elaine's not even here.
She's not even here.
Come on.
God.
I mean, it's a good argument that she has.
Sort of.
She's like, I want to be queen. I am queen.
I'll play along with you.
Let's just leave it as it is.
Everyone sees I'm queen.
Yeah.
They're
right?
cool with it.
Solid argument.
And Ron's just staring at her. And this is the best. This awkward silence that forces other people to like say a bunch of things all the time.
It's a power move.
It's huge power. To be okay in awkward silence forces other people to start running their mouth.
And you just you wait, and then people assume that they have to keep talking, so they keep talking.
It's like when I'm on the phone with the internet company, and they're not giving me the price I want, and I just sit there and say nothing.
I'll put you on hold for 47 minutes.
And they're like, okay, let me see what I can do, and then I just say nothing.
Yeah.
It's power move.
You know?
Just like Rand here, I'm the same.
Power move. Okay, great.
All right, so Perrin thinks he seems to be listening, but not to her.
Yeah,
and that comes up. Nod that it's like
it comes up so many times in this chapter, like over and over and over again, that Perrin is noticing that Rand is like focused on not the conversation that's happening in real life. There's something going on in his brain.
In his head.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever is happening, it's working for him.
Yeah, I want to know what LTT is saying in the brain.
It's like, I was going to say that.
He's probably like, the audacity of this.
Yes. But anyway, so she's like, I really want to be queen. And Rand saying nothing. The silence is too long for Perrin to handle.
Yes.
So he just yells out.
From like halfway down the stairs.
Yeah, because she's saying, I have the right to be queen.
Yes.
And so Perrin shouts out, did you have the right to murder Lord Marenghill and Amyrlin? And then Rand just still isn't saying anything. So Perrin is like, and where's Barrowlane?
Ugh, and this is the whole classic.
Oh, fuck, I shouldn't have said that.
Big mistake. Huge. Oh, man, you don't say Barrowlane around your wife.
Because of the jealousy.
Yeah.
And especially considering what's been happening.
Yeah.
This is even better.
Oh, it's so good in a very terrible way. Like, I'm not saying I support anything that Barrowlane's been doing.
But also, shouldn't Barrowlane be here?
Yeah.
At this thing?
Well,
probably?
No. Well, maybe. Debatably not.
Because she's like a high noble.
But here's the thing. Barrowlane, if you remember, was getting threatened basically from the Aes Sedai.
Oh, like, and her advisor was like stolen.
Sort of here. Anora's doing her own thing, which we'll talk about later.
Which is probably part of Barrowlane's plan.
Well, Barrowlane was threatened by the Aes Sedai. They're like, when Rand leaves, you get gone. You go back to Man.
That's true.
You don't show your face around here anymore.
That's
or bad things are going to happen.
That's true. I forgot that happened. Okay, so she's not just hanging around going to the balls.
Yeah, Barrowlane got threatened like to peace out because it's not your place to be here anymore.
Got it.
So, like, if anyone's to blame, is the Tower Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, like, Colivir got a bad hand, and, like, she went with it. So, and I mean, she murdered people, so, like, that's bad too. But, I mean, you know, it's tough.
Yeah, she really did all that murdering and scheming on Aes Sedai orders.
Kind of, sort of.
And I guess now's the time. I can come to Colivir's defense.
Sure.
Because as a person, with Aes Sedai coming to you, are you really going to say no
Yeah.
to what the Aes Sedai are saying?
Yeah. And it seems like they were going to also Mylan and Marengale, too.
Yeah.
To kind of pitch the same kind of
offer. Well, they probably
offer.
sussed out who could actually follow through for them.
Yeah.
And even though some of them were saying yes, 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 they probably got better feels from Colivir,
yeah.
who was really on board to step up and go against Rand.
Yeah, and it's like, would the Tower Aes Sedai really condemn Colivir for murdering the two others to take the throne? Like, no, they're on board with it. They know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is even her doing that was probably on Aes Sedai schemey orders.
Probably like some sort of like, oh, it'd be better if those two weren't alive anymore, wink wink.
And probably gave her like the means to do it.
Like quite possibly. Like there's a definite possibility.
This whole scheme was 100% the Aes Sedai. And the fact that there are still Aes Sedai here in the city means that they were left behind to control what Colivir's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
The Anora thing's an odd situation.
Yeah.
Just because she's like actually... But it's like Tower schemes... They don't really care. They have all the rulers in their pockets.
And let's be real. This Anora, she's hiding.
Yes.
She's not really, like, out in the open, and she's hiding behind the throne when they come in.
She is, like, just like Crush.
Yeah.
No, I get the setup, but yeah. She was letting it happen. So let's talk about it more once we get there.
So Colivir gets super flustered. This is called the Colivir Flustered Hour because she just is trying to save her own butt and it's not going to work. So she says there's no proof. There can't be any proof because, duh, I'm innocent. And then she seems to realize again where she is.
Like
and now
every noble everyone's
here, watching this go down. And so she says to Rand, I was crowned queen 9 days ago, so like I'll keep my oath of fealty to you, but I am queen unless you want to rip all of our laws away. And then Rand still isn't saying or doing anything.
Yes.
So Colivir just calls out, Anora, advise me.
Come here, get over here, I need you.
Tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And so then Anora comes out and says, Kate Colivir, can't do this anymore. Yes. I've been tricksy. Yeah. I'm a tricksy Aes Sedai.
Well, it's kind of funny because it's like the writing says she comes out from behind the throne, but I have to imagine the setup is like, you know how at the end of the hall there's the throne and there's like maybe some doors going to like a secret thing behind, like a next door behind? I don't think
so, because even Perrin, when they first walk in, he notes there's the 7 serving and the girls and then Fail.
Is she like crouching and hiding behind the throne?
Yes, that's what Perrin says when he walks in, is he notices there's someone behind the chair.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was like Fail or not.
I know, but it's not.
It's
someone else when they walk in, and it's Anora.
Sneaky. Sometimes you just crouch behind the throne.
She's tricksy.
Okay.
She's like, okay, you misunderstand my relationship with you.
I'm not your advisor.
There's no need for this, Master Althor. She turns to Rand.
Hold on, it's really funny too because also when Anora steps out, Havian, which is like the commander of the
He's got a big stupid grin on his face.
Yeah, he's like, ha! He's like, gotcha! Because he clearly knows her, and we learn that in a page. So
yes,
yeah.
So yeah, she looks at Rand. There's no need for this.
Master Althor.
Or my Lord Dragon, if you prefer. And don't worry. If I wanted to attack you, I would have already. As if...
Yeah. Like before you knew I was even here in the... Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, you would have died if you did. So good thing you didn't.
It's kind of funny because like the audacity, again, over and over again. The arrogance. And it's like...
Forever, though, they have the magic and no one else does, so they have the power. That's really what it comes down to.
But it's like she knows that even he's the Dragon Reborn, and like maybe if she's
currently shielded.
I know, currently, right now,
and thinks that Rand is the one shielding her.
Yeah.
So she still is like, oh, before you knew I was here, I wouldn't have attacked you. So I don't need to be shielded. Like, please stop.
Yeah.
That's basically what she's saying
now. There, I got a bunch of boys here right behind.
Exactly.
Oh,
that's
boy.
The reveal.
Okay.
Now's the reveal.
I love it.
I'm not the one who has you shielded.
Yes.
And so Perrin watches Anora quickly realize that the men in black coats must be doing it. And then Perrin sees Loyal off to the side, furiously scribbling notes.
And it's such a funny description because it's like Loyal has his axe up like on his shoulder. He doesn't
have it down on the ground.
He's like it's leaning and he's like got his arms wrapped and he's trying to like scribble with his and hold his axe while he's taking notes and he's just like, not the time, man. It's for his book.
It's for his book.
It's for his book.
Write your notes later. Journal later.
On the on-the-spot notes are always better.
Are they?
As much as you can get.
Okay.
Real time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
He needs like a little voice recorder thingy.
Ooh.
So he could dictate to his little recorder.
Dictaphone. I think that's what the lawyers use. Right?
Yes, or an iPhone, or, any other phone.
Or any other recording
Come on,
device.
loyal.
Okay. So Anora decides to formally introduce herself as being of the Grey Aja, and she's maintaining her Aes Sedai composure this whole time.
Yep.
She says, I am advisor to Berelain.
Yes.
Which makes sense as to why the other guy thinks this is funny.
But it's super secret because of the relationship that Tyr has towards Mayenne and towards Aes Sedai. Because Tyr doesn't like Mayenne, really, because they want it for themselves.
Well, and Tyr hates Aes Sedai.
And they hate Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
So it's like secret advisor. Mm-hmm. So that's the cool thing. Berelain has always had secret Aes Sedai advisor.
Yeah. And Rand says, hey, look, I don't think every Aes Sedai is my enemy completely, but he won't be schemed against or manipulated.
Yeah.
And then he says if she makes a bad choice about what she's going to do here, she'll go to the wise ones if she lives long enough.
Yeah, and this is like, Rand directly threatening Aes Sedai now, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
Pretty cool in a sense of, like, he's taking back a lot of the power of, like, you Aes Sedai don't get to, like, boss me around anymore. Well, as a
victim, to take back that power is pretty powerful.
Like, considering what he just went through, like, seriously abused and tortured by Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Like, he has to lay down the law and be like, I'm not gonna tell them to kill you, but I'm also not gonna, like, hold them back.
No.
So, it's kind of on you what happens next.
Right.
So.
And I mean, at this point, all Aes Sedai are sort of being lumped into one category.
Yeah. Which is also fair, because he doesn't know.
It's hard to fault Rand, considering what he's been through.
Well, considering that, like, the Aes Sedai themselves, usually, to a large extent, consider themselves as, like, one entity.
Yeah, I know. And all of the groups of Aes Sedai he's met along the way have attempted to manipulate or control the situation.
Yeah.
So,
kind of fair.
It's good that he has his guards up.
Yeah, kind of fair.
Yeah. So this is where Fael speaks up. I had to read this part several times to really understand what was going on. But she says, my Lord Dragon, Colivir plotted to break her oath of fealty to you.
Yeah, she's like spilling the beans.
Spilling the beans on Colivir's plan to get rid of all the Aiel from Cairhien, send them south. And she said if Rand ever did return, that he wouldn't dare change anything that she'd done. And Fael continues to say that she found this all out from a woman who vanished right after she told Fael this news, and Fael's pretty sure she's dead.
Yeah, so what, were you confused on anything specific, or?
Just the person who's talking.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's like, I thought this was the Aes Sedai who was just talking, and it starts a new paragraph with the, my Lord Dragon, she plotted against you, blah, 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 and then Perrin is surprised because Fael just spoke.
Yeah, okay,
that's the wording of the paragraph, I think.
And it's also confusing because Fael is basically ratting out Colivir, but from what she learned from, like, another person who is now dead and missing or whatever, or gone, or vanished.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it wasn't, like, first-hand knowledge specifically.
No, but it's enough for Dobrain.
It's enough for Dobrain. He is all on board with this.
Yeah, he's like, get her.
Get her.
Get her. Penalties, death for treason.
Death to Colivir.
Hooray.
Yeah, he's all about it.
And everyone is, like, still here.
Oh, yeah.
I want to reiterate. Everyone is still here hanging out in this giant ballroom watching this go down.
That's what's happening. So he formally charges her with treason, which the penalty is death.
Yeah.
And there we go.
And
that's the end of Colivir.
Perrin notices... Not quite.
She's done. She's done.
Quite. I wasn't listening to the end of what you were saying. Perrin notices Rand seeming to struggle with something. And then hears him say, no, I cannot, I will not. And even Perrin is thinking to himself, oh no, I really hope they don't kill her.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Well, he's got that classic, like, oh, don't hurt women ever for any reason. But it's like, really? Ever for any reason? Some people deserve to die.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% on board with Colivir dying.
Sure, but she murdered a bunch of people.
That's true, she did do that. Okay,
She's murdered a bunch of people.
I'm on board again.
If it was only like, oh, she took the throne because she was... that would be different.
She was kind of told to.
But if she hadn't have murdered multiple people, it very well could have been like a different thing. Like, hey, Colavir,
Succession war.
You're not. You can go back to being a noble, whatever. Because Rand kept a bunch of like Terran nobles alive who were like scheming against him and stuff. Like, he knew it, but he's not just murdering people indiscriminately.
That's true.
But she doesn't. Yeah, she gets.
It bothers me, like, it wasn't of her own volition, and when I said I tell you to do something...
You do it,
You do it.
It's not great.
No.
But again...
Because were the Aes Sedai gonna kill it? Like, she didn't know.
Yeah.
If she didn't do it, would she end up dead?
Maybe.
Right?
And it's tough. And to be fair, Rand passes a judgment that saves her from being murdered.
Oh, but it's almost worse.
Or killed. Is it worse?
For her, yes.
For her it is, but like, she can F off then.
She would rather
She'd rather die than be a farmer.
Yeah.
But it's like, who is also like a farmer?
It's the shame.
You know who worked on a farm? Rand. Rand is like a shepherd.
He's like, why does everyone hate farmers
Yeah,
so much?
it's like, I would rather die than do what you used to do, sort of. And like, to be fair...
It's the shame. This is the whole Aiel thing. It's like, how do we truly shame these Aes Sedai and the nobles? Is force them to act like peasants.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so.
And
that in itself is like, okay.
That's the true shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
There's
very
a big
complicated.
Conversation actually in our Discord about this topic from
Really?
last time.
Interesting.
Because we were like, oh, how are the Aes Sedai actually going to be shamed by the Aiel?
Farmers.
Right. Farmers and naked.
Naked farmers.
Naked farmers.
Yep.
So embarrassing.
Real bad sunburn.
Oh my god, that's so embarrassing.
It's so hot too. It's so hot. Sunburn? Yikes.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Mostly very embarrassing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I never garden when I'm naked. It's very embarrassing.
Don't do it. I wouldn't recommend it unless you live on your own acreage. Then you can do whatever you want.
And even then, sunscreen up, you know?
It feels nice. I don't care.
Oh,
Just
man.
not where your neighbors get.
Oh, jeez. It's a very complex topic. Yeah.
It's complex, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, Perrin thinks he realizes, and I emphasize thinks because everything Perrin thinks is like a maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's
unreliable
happening.
narrator. You might not be right.
Because I don't want to say Perrin realizes Rand is searching for a way out, because this is the way Perrin interprets the situation.
Yeah, like, he doesn't want to kill a woman, so he's searching for a way to not kill her.
Even though that's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah, it's very probable, but let's not for sure give
everything.
Perrin...
Yeah, because there are some very questionable things he thinks.
Yes.
So Colavir starts freaking out, steps towards Fael, calling her a liar, but Rand blocks her, sort of, and then Perrin growls, Fael does not lie.
Good one, Perrin.
Yeah,
way to tell her.
Because, she might be.
Yeah.
We don't actually know.
Yeah, we don't actually know if Fael is telling the truth.
Fael might just be completely lying here.
Yeah.
For the sake of...
Like Rand. And Bennett help Rand to hold her off the throne. That's a possibility, too.
It's true. But... So Colavir composes herself again and tells Rand that she demands justice because there's no proof of this. That woman isn't even in Cairhien anymore. And it's like, okay... How do you know that?
Yeah.
How do you know she's not in Cairhien anymore?
And it's like, she might be here, but if she is here, then get her. So, and you know what? To be fair, we should have some sort of proof.
But it doesn't matter because it's all lies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna actually be just, we should have proof for murders. We should.
And then we get it.
And we do. Yeah.
Sort of. So Dobrain says treason and murder. The penalty is the same. Except by your new law, it's hanging for murder.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Perrin sees Rand looking at Min, and he's wondering if it's a viewing thing.
He does figure that out, which is, we know that's true. So it's also kind of like Rand is trying to avoid the viewing from happening. Yeah. So, you can't cheat the system, Rand. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. And I think that that's what Rand is trying to convey with her sad face.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
But...
And, it's kind of sad because, Rand knows and Min knows, and it's it's, tough.
I want this scene from either Min's point of view or Fael's point of view.
Yes.
I think that would be very interesting.
I would like to be in Fael's head and be like, what is she thinking about Perrin being a big dummy?
I actually do want that very much.
Yeah.
I would rather that than this. I think that would be a very interesting twist to start this book.
Yeah.
To be in Fael's point of view for this.
That would be very cool.
I would have liked that.
Yeah. I don't know if you intentionally missed it too, but Honora tells her whole story about how she also has proof. And
No, I
Amyrlin
haven't missed it. It's coming up.
Oh, I just want to make sure you didn't miss it.
No, I didn't.
It's like a long explanation.
Go ahead. Tell us about it.
So Honora, she's like, I also have confirmation that the missing woman is in fact missing, which is good.
Yes.
And then Amyrlin brought 2 thief catchers with her, which we know about. And then there's a whole long description about the guilty people, confirming that Colavir was the one who ordered the murders.
Oh, yeah, okay. And then this is where Colavir's like, no, don't hang me. Cut my head off. I demand a headsman.
Yes, because commoners get hanged. Yes. And she's not no commoner, so she wants her head cut off.
Right.
Because technically we still haven't gotten to the farm thing, because that's what happens
Not
next.
yet. You're right. Okay. Yeah. And then she sort of looks like a damp rag. Limp as a damp rag. That's how Perrin...
It's a great description.
Expresses how she looks. And then Colavir mumbles, they promised you would never return.
Yep.
And this is where I kind of felt
you feel a little bit bad. It's a tower plot that she got caught up in.
She really did get caught up in it because...
You know what it is. It's entrapment.
It is.
It's entrapment.
And the Aes Sedai were overconfident in their ability to take Rand.
Yeah. No, it is. It's definitely like a raw deal, but...
And to be fair, listen, if the Shido Aiel didn't bust in, and the Ashaman didn't show up...
Sure.
Everything would kind of be going as planned.
It would be, very much so.
Perrin probably would have actually had a chance to save Rand if those 2 other things didn't happen.
Okay.
There's like lots of people trying to rescue Rand at this point, and I don't think the Aes Sedai anticipated that part.
Yes.
And then also the whole
Shido betrayal was the big thing for the Aes Sedai.
That was the big thing.
Yeah.
But it's almost like they never plan for any contingencies for anything to go wrong.
True.
Yeah.
It's the overconfidence.
It is.
So there you go. So yeah, like we can feel a little bit bad for Colavir, a little bit.
Yeah. So Colavir doesn't want to be hanged like some commoner, and finally Rand speaks and says, all right, Colavir, I strip you of your titles, I strip you of your lands and estates and possessions, of everything but the dress you stand in. And then Rand asks if she owned a farm.
Yeah, but
small farm.
Like the smallest farm.
Smallest farm.
Not a big one.
Over by the Dragon Wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, we'll find you one. Because everyone's like, a farm? What the fuck?
Yeah, Dobrin's like, well, yeah, she's got farms.
She owned thousands of them. Thousands. Thousands of farms,
it's really funny.
Of course.
We get like the little like context of Dobrin explaining how farmland works in Kyrian. It's like, well, there's typically like big plots of farmland, but I suppose we could divide one up and then we could make like a really small patch, and then Colavir could only take that small patch and then she can live there.
God, it goes on.
It's such a long explanation for like...
And everyone's like, farm?
Yeah, farm. What are we doing?
Why? Yeah.
And here's the big reveal, because Rand's like, well,
that's where you're
going there. You're going to learn how to till soil.
The smallest one near the Dragon Wall. You're exiled to that farm. We'll get someone to teach you how to soil. We're going to expend resources, setting guards up around you at all times.
Yeah. Got to learn how to farm. And now, technically, Rand, from what we know...
Rand kind of has a plan.
He didn't farm, though. He was like a shepherd. And also, Tam had his apple orchard, so we don't know if he's actually like a farmer.
To till the land.
He doesn't. He's not a land tiller, possibly per se. He's more the shepherd, apple
farm.
Brandy man. So there you go.
Fair. Okay, that's fair.
Okay, just want to set the record straight here.
Yeah, because at first I was like, "Don't send her to some farm. She's gonna escape and plot against you."
But like, if she doesn't have any like stuff or money.
She could still escape and find people to plot against.
Possibly, yeah, that's true. I know. Next chapter's pretty funny.
Just cut her head off.
That's the thing that Perrin takes.
Just cut her head off. I'm from the back of the room.
Chop her head.
Chop her head off. That's me. I'm gonna be in the back of the room. Boo, Red. Boo, Red.
Yeah.
Just kill her.
Oh man. Okay. Oh yeah. And then the big thing that happens.
Oh, this is big.
Colavir passes the F out.
Okay, that's not the big thing that happened.
That's the big thing.
No, the big thing is Rand, with the power, stops her from like breaking her neck.
It's
falling down the stairs.
Possibly Rand. We don't know if it's Rand.
Oh, we 100% know this is Rand.
Maybe.
The Ashaman.
Perrin doesn't know.
The Ashaman who want to fight everybody and everything and kill everything.
You think it's Rand? Okay.
They're not being gentle with women who pass out.
Okay. All right. Fair point.
That's Rand.
Fair point.
Rand, who just saved this woman from execution,
Yeah.
of course, is going to gently pillow her landing
Oh,
with
man.
the power.
It's gonna fall down the stairs 18 steps.
Which, I mean, would be funny.
Yeah. I didn't expect you to say funny. Okay.
Let's go back to some of that slapstick humor.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone falling down is funny.
Right?
People
Hilarious.
love that stuff.
Someone threw a pie.
Let's go back to America's Funniest Home Videos.
Right?
People falling down and hurting themselves is the best.
Best kind of humor.
Not for me, actually. I don't actually love that.
No,
Most people, ask my mom.
So funny.
My mom's
The funniest.
favorite humor is when people fall down.
The funniest part is watching her laugh at videos of people like falling.
I know.
The funniest
and
thing.
She's like, I know it's terrible, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let's finish this chapter.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Honora says, I bet she would have preferred the headsman. I'll see to her. And then Rand's like, nope.
Yep.
It's not your concern. She's alive and that's good enough. You're going to take me to Berlin because I want to find out what the fuck has been happening around here since I've been gone.
Yes.
And I trust Berlin to tell me the truth.
Well, and also, like, why did Berlin have a Nora and never tell Rand that at all once? Like,
also that.
should have come up at some point.
I want to hear it directly from Berlin.
Yes.
And so Rand realizes that literally all the nobles are still standing around here.
Yep.
And there's this implication that all those who swore fealty to him, but then also accepted Colivier's
It's like,
queen,
wait, are we all guilty of treason right now?
are
Like,
we
is
all
every
gonna be
noble?
sent
Yeah.
to shitty farms?
It's like, I don't want to farm. It's kind of like Egwene's reaction to having a child.
Oh,
where
yeah.
she literally escapes a forsaken trap because she's like, I don't want to have kids.
Yeah, she's like, oh my god, babies!
Get me the hell out of here. Yeah, and all these nobles are like, farming? No way.
No.
Yeah.
And so then Rand is like, all right, this audience is at an end, and I'll forget every face that leaves right now.
Which is like fair.
So they start filing out in an orderly manner, but then the word now starts to mean something.
It's like, what does that really mean?
And so they all start shoving and pushing to like get out of there, and it's a whole thing.
A little bit more like physical comedy.
It is.
It's pretty good.
That's how this chapter ends.
But you know what? I think Rand handles the nobles in an appropriate setting. Like, yeah, give them a pass. Like, hey, they also kind of got roped into everything. Like, you can't just, like, execute... Well, I mean, you could technically execute every noble, but let them have a pass, let them leave, and be like, I'm in charge again.
Especially considering he wouldn't execute the one noble who he, like, probably should have.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna hang Mangin, and you're not gonna hang this broad?
Ooh, I can't believe... Not only did you remember his name, but, yeah, he did that.
Bold.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Rand was going through a tough time.
Misogynistic.
Well, I would say going through a tough time.
Misogynistic.
So Rand's actions aren't like consistent.
Do you think that if this was Amyrlin,
sure,
he would have a different reaction and be okay with the hanging?
Possibly. Yeah, I can definitely agree with the whole... Well, his entire mindset of like, you know, women shouldn't be harmed ever for any reason. Even Lanfear, when she's gonna murder me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's definitely got an issue.
Fucking problem.
But you know, that's an upbringing problem. We're like 2 years...
Culture problem.
We're 2 years out of Rand leaving the Two Rivers and everything he ever knew. So it's like, you aren't going to change someone's entire mindset and, like, everything they've ever known in 2 years.
A lot of Rand has changed.
A lot has.
This is, like...
The ingrained, the deep-set stuff.
Even, we're going to get into it with Perrin's...
Perrin's the same way.
Stupid shit about the Aes Sedai, which we'll get into.
Well, and there isn't anybody forcing Perrin to change. Like, the maidens are forcing Rand to change his mindset. Yeah. Even though he doesn't like it, they are forcing it, like, the new, like, you gotta let us, you know, fight and die for you. But Perrin doesn't have that maiden side of things to say, you gotta let women fight and die for you.
Well, he's got Fael, sort of.
She doesn't do that.
No, she wants to be yelled at. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? I need a new drink.
Sure. Yep.
And then we'll move on.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. So let's get into Chapter 6, Old Fear and New Fear.
Yeah.
With a random, nice Oxford comma in that title.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Me too. I love the Oxford comma.
Yeah, it's important.
Except usually it's for when there's a list of 3.
That's true.
Yeah.
I didn't look enough into this about the, you know.
I've had to defend it in the past because I like using it.
Yeah. No, it's important. I think it's an important thing to have.
It's odd in the middle of this chapter title, probably. But if it's there, I trust Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
Should we talk about the chapter instead of the title?
Maybe. Is it more interesting?
No. The chapter symbol is the wolf.
Yes. Because, surprise, it's Perrin again.
I mean, like, Perrin gets some.
Well, okay.
Get it.
We assume.
In the end...
It's like,
he gets it.
Okay.
But his mind's elsewhere, probably.
Maybe.
He says it's not. It might be.
Okay. Let's talk about it when we get there.
Perrin perspective. We're not leaving it for a million years,
yes.
turns out.
Surprise, the entire book is Perrin.
Oh, I thought we would, like, flip to Rand, going to search for Berlin.
Sure. Nope.
Something.
She's not here, man.
Elaine and Nynaeve.
Berlin's not here, man.
This would be, actually, in my very humble opinion,
okay.
This would be a very nice place to stop and have it be like this cliffhanger.
Okay.
And go flip over to what literally anyone else in the entire world is doing.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Considering Egwene.
There's a lot of things going on.
Considering Elaine,
focus.
Matt.
Let's talk about Perrin.
Okay.
He's got feelings.
We do have to wrap up.
We've got to resolve this issue.
Situation. I'll give you it.
Let's get it over with.
I'll give you it.
Let's do it.
We're doing it.
Okay.
But I really need to get over to those other people soon.
Sure. It seems like after this chapter, we should be, like, on to the next topic here.
I feel like because you just said that, I'm worried.
You should be worried.
Yeah.
You should always be worried about what I say. Okay.
Okay, so Rand leaves the hall, and most people go with him.
Yeah.
And then that just leaves Perrin and Fael on the, like, throne stage.
Yeah. The dais?
Dais?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the steps, the area.
The throne stage.
Yeah, the stage. Yeah, that's what it is. Aram's here.
But, like, Aram's still there.
He's looking.
Oh, God, he's a weird, creepy guy.
A little bit.
I've never really liked him very much.
What? Why? Don't say that. I don't know.
You love Aram. I don't know.
I'm a fan.
I don't know why. He's so weird. So, he's got just these mental problems.
He does. He was literally cast out by his family, who were like, "You're not a person to us anymore. Get out of here."
Yeah, but he's, like, too obsessed with killing and violence.
He's looking for someone to pick him up as, like, a foster child, and Perrin isn't doing a good job of picking him up.
That's fair, but that's really not Perrin's role.
Well, sure, we could say...
Perrin can barely handle his own brain.
Yeah.
You think he can handle someone else?
Being generous by saying barely. But,
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, he's here, looking at them.
Dobrain's here, looking at Colavir, who's still unconscious.
Yep.
And then the other lady attendants have run off.
Gone.
They're gone.
Gone. No chance.
Nobody's even considering helping Colavir at this point.
Yeah.
Perrin takes Fael's hand, but they don't say anything to each other yet. And then Fael does a thing with her, like, fan language.
Touching your face and touching my face and touching your face.
Fan language.
It's great.
Perrin
super sexy too.
Barely understands.
Yeah, she, like, taught him some things, but, like, he doesn't know.
It's clearly very intricate.
It is. No, and we did definitely get that.
I thought your fun fact today was going to be about fan language.
You know what? I'm offended because I previously did a fan language fun fact. I've already done that.
Yep.
You're looking at me like you don't even remember that. Yeah. I've already done a fan language fun fact. Come on.
We need to do fun fact trivia again.
Seriously.
For fun.
Can't believe
There's been so much.
There's only been like 200 and something episodes, and you can't remember all my fun facts? Anyways.
A fun fact on fan language?
Loyal is still trying to furiously write everything down.
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh, man. Poor guy.
Okay. So, Dobrain is muttering about how this would have been better if Rand had just sent Colavir to the block, and I kind of agree.
True, yeah, I mean, and it's like
This is just, like, more complex than it needs to be.
Yeah, and she wants that, too. She's like, let's get it over with.
She's like, I get it. Okay,
tapping out
fucked
here.
Up. Like,
yeah.
And so Fael comments that her death might be best for everyone.
Yep.
And she's side-eyeing Dobrain.
Wink, wink, nudge,
and guess who doesn't pick it up?
Perrin, not yet. It's still a while before
Perrin
he gets
frowns because she hasn't said anything to him yet, and all her questions are for Dobrain.
It's like, come on. But it's like, hey, in fairness, you only were talking about Berlin before. Come on. You say Berlin's name 3 times in a mirror, and she's going to appear behind you.
Oh my gosh, no. Oh, don't even. We've moved past that.
Man. Okay, bring it back. Okay.
Gosh.
Anyways, Dobrain and Fael, they're talking.
They keep talking.
Yep.
She asks about Rand actually sending Aes Sedai to the Aiel as prisoners.
Yes. Like, is that real?
Dobrain's like, yeah. Some swore fealty to him on their knees, too.
Yeah, like, that happened.
Yeah, and Fael starts talking about how Colivir knows too much information because they're sort of starting to talk while Colivir is just, like, down.
Yes.
Unconscious, and she's, like, sort of side-eyes her, like, oh, maybe
well, and
she's not.
Here's the thing. Fael and Dobrain are having, like, a conversation amongst each other about, like, hey, should we just kill her because, like, this is the time?
Yeah.
Perrin doesn't know what the hell's going on.
No.
And then Fael's also talking about how Colivir knows a bunch of stuff that they, like, the collective group of Randon crew, were probably trying to keep secret. Like, she knows too much stuff, and she's dangerous to keep alive.
Yeah. And so Dobrain comments it's a pity she didn't break her neck on the steps.
Take more hints.
But she'll go into exile and live as a farmer.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So this is kind of like Dobrain being like, no, we're not going to do that. She's going to go be in exile and be a farmer.
And then Perrin finally clues in on this conversation and is like,
Whoa. What are you guys talking about?
You want her taken care of? I don't think Rand would like that, guys, and I wouldn't like it either.
Because that's the kind of person I am today.
No killing anyone ever.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Aaron
wake
would
up
probably be
and
for it.
Smell where you are.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, Perrin.
Use that good nose of yours to figure out what the hell is going on, Perrin. Come on.
Yeah, he really didn't do that here.
No.
So Perrin realizes that there's some fear scent coming from Fael, and he's like, oh my god, do you think I'm really an Aes Sedai puppet? And feels like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they can do that. They got magic.
Yeah.
And you know what? In fairness, like, Aes Sedai can legit do compulsion to make people do things. And, like,
barely. They're not strong enough.
But, like, in the wheelhouse of powers that Aes Sedai have, that is a thing.
And Fael doesn't know.
And she doesn't know.
Level.
She doesn't know. And she doesn't necessarily know the compulsion of the thing, but it's like in the wheelhouse of magical abilities, that is a possibility of something that can happen.
Yeah.
So, fair, be cautious.
Yeah. And then we get some, like, lighthearted conversation a little bit, which is kind of out of place here.
A little bit, but they're like, remember how they left? It was on very bad terms.
Yes.
And now this is like, Perrin's alive, she's alive.
They've both been through some stuff.
They're like trying to like get back to who they are together.
And a reminder again, Fael has had to deal with this Barrel-Lane situation.
Yeah.
This entire time.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
Not great. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Perrin was like, hey, just to prove to you that the Aes Sedai are under Wise One control, do you want Viren to do a super sexy Sassara dance for you?
Yeah, that's like the ultra sexy one. That's even more sexy
than what the Tinkers do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never remember the names. They're always so hard.
That's what she said?
Yeah.
No,
okay. Yeah, what was that one? No, hold on.
Okay.
The Taganza.
Right.
Yeah.
You know how I remember that one? Actually, I didn't remember it here, so I don't remember it.
But how you could hypothetically remember it.
So the George Costanza.
Sure.
Because it's the opposite of
sexy. Costanza dances the Taganza.
Hilarious.
And
we just finished some Mrs. Maisel.
Yeah.
And that actor, he's in it.
Yeah, he is. Okay, yeah. Okay. So there you go. Easy peasy. Sassara
is the sexy
ultra sexy one. The Taganza is sexy.
Says she doesn't know.
Yeah.
But it sounds like she knows.
For sure.
But it sounds like she hasn't pulled out yet. Perrin hasn't seen it yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe that happens tonight.
Nope, I doubt it.
Okay.
Just a lot of like scratching.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Well, they're into that, so it's like cool.
Well, she's into it. I don't know.
Whatever you're in, and it's like he clearly isn't like putting up a fight. So like, maybe he's not being honest with himself about being into it.
Okay. Well, he doesn't say he's not into it.
Exactly my point.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. So Perrin goes in for a hug, and he's never sure if Fael will avoid the PDA or welcome it, but she does end up like liking the hug, and she lovingly says, "If any Aes Sedai ever harms you, I'll kill her. You belong to me, Perrin."
And I mean, she said that to Alana and got Alana to back off.
That's true.
There you go.
So the last of the nobles leave the hall, finally over at the door.
Yeah.
And Perrin sends Aram to bring the rest of the Two Rivers men into the city.
Because like the whole army is still like on the
They're
hill
all
out
still
there.
out
So
there.
yeah.
They don't
and
know.
probably Rand is like sending people to go get him, so it's all good.
Maybe.
Well, probably like
probably
the
not
maidens.
at this point. Maybe.
If anything, like the maidens
Actually,
are gonna.
maybe.
Yeah.
In the, like, you know, when you walk and talk?
Yeah.
It probably was that.
Yeah.
So, Perrin and Fael head off to their rooms, and he thinks if not for the same reasons...
Yeah, so it's like, are we yelling or are we going to do it?
Are we making up or are you still angry?
Exactly.
Okay. We
A little
should
bit of
also
both.
probably inform each other of what the hell has happened, because we've both been a part of very serious world events.
Oh, that's true. That is true. We're going to skip over that.
And the only reason she tells him any of what she's been through is because of, like, the jealousy.
Well, okay. And you know what? I can assume that that's a conversation they can have after they get after they get it out of their system.
Okay.
They'll talk.
Okay, maybe.
Which, like, I get it. It's fine.
There's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
Release the tension.
Just get past that, and then it's like, talk
we'll
about
chat.
events. Cool.
Maybe. I don't believe they have very effective communication, so we'll see.
Okay, we'll see what happens.
Okay. So, Perrin realizes the corridors are empty except for some servants who are still around, and he catches the sounds of footsteps following them.
Ooh, that's right.
Ooh. Okay. And he thinks that even though Colivir probably doesn't have any support right now, someone still might attack a friend of Rand.
So you always gotta be on guard. Yeah.
So he spins around with his axe or something.
Yeah.
And then it's freaking Solande. And I actually forgot who this was.
Again?
Yeah.
She's the one.
I know. The name. The word Solande, that name.
Yeah. It's like a nothing name.
It's so common at this point.
Sure.
It literally could be anyone or anything.
So, reminder, if anyone else
All
has
these
forgotten.
Sedai names.
Yeah.
It's like
she's the one who was like Colavir's, like,
she's Aiel wannabe.
Go and hit on Ren, and now she's like the leader of the, one of the leaders of the Aiel wannabe people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The non-Aiel fakers.
Exactly. The faker people.
But they're trying.
They are. They're doing a thing.
I commend them medium.
Okay.
Yeah. So plus there's about 8 new faces with them.
There's a whole bunch.
And now Perrin is like, why are you following us, idiots?
Yeah.
And he's ready for these dummies to, like, cause a problem. And Fael's like, hey, you listen to my husband and obey. You better not mess with him.
Yeah. So what's going on here?
And they all gawk and stare, and then they back away bowing and banish around the corner.
What's going on here?
I don't know. Foreplay? Saldean foreplay. You yell at people, defend each other.
Well, they're clear. There's like, okay,
and
so
then yell at each other.
there was
and
like,
and then we get to it.
Beforehand, there
I'm
was
confused.
like,
I don't know
7 or 8.
Saldean culture, Brett.
It's nothing to do with Saldean culture, but like before, I'm talking about the Aiel fakers.
What are
there was like
doing?
7 or 8 before, and now there's like 8 new. There's like almost 20 of them, and they're like following Perrin and Fael.
Okay. Oh, I know what you're asking.
Yeah,
okay.
what's going on with that?
You can understand where I.
George, what's
wrong.
the deal with all these fake Aiel? Okay.
That's not George. That's Jerry.
That's Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Right.
Jerry Seinfeld is different than George Costello.
No, I know that, but we were going with the Jerry Seinfeld jokes, like the Seinfeld, references here.
Pretty good.
Okay.
I think they liked Rand and the Aiel. Like they clearly like them.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
The sincerest form of flattery.
Okay.
Right. The imitation.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Hey, we supported you guys. We brought you to the Grand Hall.
Can we come along with you guys?
Things went well with you,
Yeah.
so now we're guarding you."
They kind of want to like be a part of the.
They want to follow Perrin around like the maidens follow Rand around.
They want to be part of the wolf pack.
They want to be part of it.
Okay.
The wolf pack.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The Falcon pack.
No.
The wolf and Falcon
pack. Okay.
Nailing it. Okay. Here we
go. But I am on board with this weird Saldean foreplay.
Okay. Cool. Let's yell at
we
people.
We both yell at people and then yell at each other.
Yeah, I love it.
That's how we do this. So since Fael seems to be in a good mood after yelling at people,
yeah, of course,
Perrin finally asks her how she became one of Colivir's attendants.
I hope you had a good reason, Fael.
Communication.
Yeah.
Cool. Fael doesn't want to talk so freely in front of any servants, so it's like, let's get to our room.
Yeah, because it's Kyrian, remember, and like servants play, Days de Mar and like more as much as the nobles.
Yeah.
So be careful what you're saying.
And so it turns out that very quickly Colivir learned that Fael was a very important person.
Yeah.
With her dad's name and her cousin's name.
Yeah, Queen Tenobia.
That's right.
Davin Bashir.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I want you as my attendant.
Yeah, like, come on, be a part. And that, like, can help support her for the throne.
That's right. So now they walk until they reach their rooms, and then when they get there, Fael offers him some wine or punch or something, and then Perrin has planned out what he had to say very carefully on the way here.
Yeah.
Because Fael is such a prickly woman.
Yeah.
And then
so it's so funny.
What he says, he just like literally shouts out.
But here's the thing. This is all planned. In Perrin's mind, this is like, I have a planned speech. And the first sentence he starts with is just like, this was your planned speech, Perrin? This is the best you can come up with?
Yeah. What does he say specifically? I didn't write it.
Oh, he tells her that I missed you and I was worried about you. And that was the wrong thing to say.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't know.
No. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Don't say it.
And then Fael snaps and is like, worried about me, but you clearly love that woman.
You must love Berylane because the first thing you said was all about Berylane. And, to be fair, that is what he said.
In the situation, Fael.
Yeah. And I mean, okay, does Fael really truly believe this? Or is she just like,
of course not.
Is she just poking?
She's also been, it's been a week, so let's not be dramatic.
Yeah. It's been like almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's been a while.
It's since they found out about the Berylane situation, and then Berylane... Okay, here's the thing. She tells him a whole story about what she has been doing and what she's had to put up with here while he's been gone. And it's probably been about a week.
Sure, okay.
About her actually having to deal with Berylane.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks it's very funny.
Well, so we didn't actually say what the story is. So the story is that Fael is saying that Perrin is off like hunting or whatever, but Berylane was spreading a rumor that Perrin was like staying out at some house with Berylane in the country, so people are laughing and being like, "Oh, Berylane and Perrin."
Berylane is like Perrin's mistress.
Yeah, and it's like, "Oh, Fael's just putting on a brave face or whatever." So it's
and then Colavir thought that was funny, and then had her
and Berylane
attending to her, at
like
the
making
same
them do chores together.
But that's exactly. This is something that shows me that Berylane didn't immediately disappear.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. Like, maybe not immediately disappear, but she's clearly not trying to contend with Colavir.
For the throne.
Exactly.
Okay.
She's, like, stepping away.
But they basically both had to, like, bathe Colavir and whatever. So she's had to, like, deal with Berylane thinking this is funny and everyone thinking this is funny. And, like, yeah, that sucks. But it's literally been a week.
Yeah, I know.
Chill. Anyway. So the entire time that Fael's on this rant, she's like backing Perrin up until he bumps into the wall, and then finally he snaps. And this is what she clearly needs, and this is what I know is gonna fix their relationship.
Well, this is what she wants. She wants a reaction. She wants him to, like, fight for her in a weird sense. It's a cultural difference that we don't understand, so I'm not going to say it's a right or wrong, because,
so
differences.
He flips out, and he's like, this entire time, I've been worried about you. I've been thinking about nothing but you. So he picks her up and he growls at her. And he says, how dare you speak to me like that? I love you. Nobody else. If anything happened to you, I'd die. I'd lay down on your grave. I'd be dead with you. And she's like, if you did that, I would haunt your soul.
You are going to mourn for the appropriate amount of time, and then you're going to find a woman to take care of you because you can't take care of yourself.
But one I would approve of.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? That's a good outlook on things too, because even though she's like super jealous, she does have some rationality, but it's like, in this life right now.
Sort of after he's yelled at her, though.
This is what she wants. This is her reaction. This is how you show love, and if you don't yell, then you're not showing love.
Clearly.
Right?
Sure.
And again, I'm not saying right or wrong, but it's like that's her culture, and that's what she was brought up to want. And that's why Perrin isn't getting it, because he was brought up the exact opposite way, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So after this, Perrin is very confused about women, and he gets some thoughts about how Fael is being as forward as a Saldean farm girl at harvest.
Yeah, because like he thinks like she's going to totally say something like that, because
she always says that.
That's
her
the
thing.
hint. That's
the hint.
Yeah. That's the like, ooh, are you...
Saldean farm girls at harvest are very forward.
Yes. They're like in the mood. They're ready to go.
Okay.
Harvest time is like I don't actually know anything about farming.
But you know what's more interesting than Saldean girls at harvest?
Rand.
Rand and Matt knowing more about women than Perrin does.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
The trope continues into this book.
We got it.
It's official.
It's here, people.
Here
we did
it.
Okay.
So Perrin sees where this is going, and he says he needs to bathe.
Which is
he hasn't seen soap in a long time.
Yeah, they were like running.
And also in battle
Yeah.
with other people's blood and stuff.
There were no baths.
No baths.
Okay.
And feels like, no time, you smell delicious. It's disgusting. And so then the door bangs open.
Oh, man.
And Rand's
This
here.
is such a funny scene, too. Oh, my God. I love this so much.
This is another one of those, like, comedic, on-stage productions.
For sure. Just, like, door banging open and Rand's here.
Yeah.
Pause for audience laughter.
Yeah, and so Rand's like, Perrin, Barrelane isn't. And then he totally realizes what he's busted in on.
Yeah.
And then there's some maidens in the hallway. Min sticks her head in.
Yeah, she like peeks in.
Grins.
She knows what's up.
She ducks out. Fael's like, so nice of you to drop in. Sorry for not hearing your knock.
Yeah.
But Rand ignores her.
The shade. That's pretty good too.
And Rand tells Perrin that Barrelane isn't in her rooms. She's spending the night on one of the sea folk ships because I knew those fuckers were going to be important.
Yep.
Excuse my language.
I know you think that the sea folk are going to be important.
Ugh, why are they all just hanging out here? We've got it for, I think, 2 books now.
Rand...
The sea folk are just doing some stuff around here.
Rand received letters saying, yo, we want a meeting from our supposed Corrimor.
No one...
And he was like, I don't got time for that.
With the Corrimor, Egwene tried to go talk to them. We thought we were going to get an interaction, but nope, she fucked that right up.
Yeah, she did a bad job.
She got thrown right into the sea and was never welcomed back.
Yep.
And now here we are. Barrelane, of all people, gets to go hang out with them.
Yes.
So.
Anyways.
Of all things right now, it's back to the frickin' don't say Barrelane's name around here because I'm about to get laid. And I don't want Fael, who's really happy with me right now, to get angry with me again.
Yeah.
So quit it. Is there anything else you wanted to talk to me about? Hint, hint. Let's go in the hallway and talk about this.
Yeah, it's so funny because like, hey, anything else? Anything at all?
And Rand's just
anything. It's like stands for a moment. He's like, yes.
I need to know.
It's super important, Perrin. Do you want to go to Ilion?
Do you want to command the army against Ilion?
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to go to Tyr?
You want to go to Tyr and fight Ilion? No.
I have to know now.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Rand really wants to know about this.
Well, okay. To be fair, yeah, he does probably want to like bring that up again, but moderately quick thinking on Rand's part to bring up like a legitimate thing.
I didn't get that here. I thought this was schizophrenic Rand.
Okay.
Like jumping all around?
I think this is legitimate like Rand. Because the funny thing is when Rand like bangs the door open and then realizes what he's walked into, Perrin thinks that like Rand is standing there very much not like the Dragon Reborn. So it's literally just like Rand reverts back to like old
like,
Rand.
Perrin,
like,
I need your help.
Oh man, I just walked in on my buddy gonna like bang his wife.
Yeah.
Like, whoops. Sorry, man. So it's like almost like reverting back to that mentality. And I think this, I kind of feel like this is Rand.
Yeah, but then right away, instead of Perrin being like, let's go talk about this, or I'll talk to you about this later.
Yeah.
He's like, he answers, he's like, nope. And he answers very earnestly.
Yeah.
And now the whole thing switches.
But like too much.
And the energy switches.
But it's too much because Perrin gets like exasperated immediately. Like, no, I don't want to go to be your general. But it's like, you asked him to change the subject.
Yeah.
So he's bringing up whatever he could have.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm not a general. Besides, I thought I was supposed to stay close to you, which is like very layered.
Yeah.
And very intense. And Rand's like, well, we all got to take risks, man.
Yeah. It's like, I'm trying to change the subject.
And then Perrin changes the subject again.
Yeah.
The
to
Aes
the worst subject. Like, why we got to talk about this at all?
Hey, Rand, just so you know, I'm against you. Like, of all people to just like...
Yeah.
like, right now...
Yeah.
Why? What's happening? I don't understand this last, like, 3 paragraphs. It's wild, and I don't get it. And both of them are being irrational.
Well, okay, the last time this happened, Min had to kind of step in and be like, hey, knuckleheads, you guys are being a bunch of dummies, cut it out.
Honestly.
And this is them at it again in a place and a time and a situation that's a little bit heated, and they're trying to, like,
Rand's
switch topics.
Not expecting this, because he's come to Perrin
Yeah.
to tell him what's happening, to keep him informed, and maybe even get some advice.
Yeah.
And here Perrin is, out of everything, by the end, flipping on Rand and almost threatening him.
Yes, which is like such a underwhelming threat, and Rand kind of calls him
And
out
Rand's
on
like,
it.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so, because, again,
Yes.
what happens?
So the Aes Sedai are under the Wise One's control, and they are ready to skin those Aes Sedai alive, and you can't let them be harmed, Rand.
Yeah.
And then Rand kind of laughs and is like, well, we all have to take risks. He throws that back in Perrin's face. Perrin doubles down and is like, I won't let them be hurt, Rand.
And this is Rand calling him out, too.
And it's like, you won't let the Aes Sedai who tortured and tried to control me?
Well, and also Rand's and this is the issue, is like Rand is saying, oh, you aren't going to let it happen?
What are you going to do about that?
And that's the thing, is like Rand is totally calling out Perrin on the fact, like, if it comes down to it, like, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
This is a magic system where legitimately people who channel 100% of the time can win.
Yeah.
Over a non-channel. Like, it's not going to happen in any, like, one-on-one battle. Like, what are you going to do, Perrin?
And then Perrin says, I won't. They're prisoners and no threat, and they're women.
Oh, terrible.
And Rand's like, well, they're Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And they're ones who were aiding and abetting.
Yeah, they're, like, basically co-conspirators. Like, you're all part of the same freaking club that kidnapped Rand.
And tortured.
And tortured Rand.
They all knew it was happening.
It's terrible.
Didn't do anything to stop it.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, listen, bud, they're not just women here. I do what I have to. I won't harm any Aes Sedai who doesn't deserve it, and I can't promise more. The end.
Yeah.
Shut it, Perrin.
Yeah, I'm 100% on Rand's side with that. And
Me
it's
too.
Like,
Me too.
And that's the issue. Is like Perrin's like upbringing is really coming out here, where he's acting on a bunch of information that's like terrible. And
well,
just
at
because,
this point, I don't think Perrin fully knows the extent to which Rand and Min were fully tortured.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he does.
No.
So it's frustrating.
It is.
Yeah.
And at this point, just before Rand leaves, he tells Perrin that since he doesn't want to be in the army or help the army in any way, he can use him somewhere else. Because that's what he does, right?
Yeah.
And I can
uses his friends.
I can only imagine in Rand's head, he's like, use them all.
I can't believe I'm using my friends. It's like, man, you're trying to save the world here?
Yeah.
Use your Taviran friends.
Well, and especially this one who's being annoying.
Yeah, he's being a dick right now. I want to send you off.
Yeah, so Rand tells Perrin he can rest for a day or two, and then it'll be time to go. And then Rand leaves, and Fael lets out a breath. And tells Perrin that he's very courageous.
But
and
also
stupid.
He's also an idiot.
And she's like, let's not let him ruin the mood. And then starts to say, I feel as forward as a farm girl.
Yeah, there's a line.
And then Perrin busts out laughing, and then they clearly do it.
Yeah, because that's the funny line that she always uses.
Line.
So
that's it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Perrin has this, like, the inset, like, oh, I have to protect women, and they're helpless as women who are, it's terrible. It's not good. Like, it's definitely bad.
Especially Aes Sedai, because if anyone is not under the umbrella of helpless women...
It is certainly not Aes Sedai.
Certainly
Even
not.
if they can't channel, like, they're still dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, and it's kind of coming back to the whole advice that Tom gave, like, way back in, like, book 1. Like, a woman can kill just as fast as a man can.
Yeah.
And if you don't think they can, then you're going to get killed.
No, and you know what? Honestly, the idea that women are not as strong as men and need protecting is wild, especially in the Two Rivers. I just don't quite understand it, considering Mistress Luhan is the one with the frying pan who takes out Trollocs on her own, and that's who Perrin literally grew up with.
Yeah.
So to think that women are these helpless beings,
well,
I
it doesn't.
just don't
it doesn't have to have a
get it.
logical basis.
I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All right. You know what I am very excited to do?
Read.
Yes.
Maybe get out of Perrin's perspective.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I had my wisdom teeth out. We took a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And now we're doing okay.
Yeah.
We're doing
absolutely.
okay for recording. And now I'm going to read on.
Okay. So let me give you the next chapter title and symbol.
Sure.
Okay. So we've got pitfalls and tripwires.
Okay.
And the chapter symbol is the Lion of Andor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that gives me some hope.
Okay.
That we're like,
because we're in
moving out of
Kyrian, so it's like
this.
maybe we're gonna go to Andor.
Maybe. And Perrin probably won't go.
Oh, surprise, Perrin, you're going to Andor.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, gotcha. Surprise.
Oh, okay, I'm excited to read on, even if you didn't share that. So, what I am going to say is, before you go and pass what you believe is a merciful sentence, and then everybody thinks that it would just be better off if they died, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Vince Lewick, and Margaret, with music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.